What's up, everybody? Welcome to Are You Down with LPT, the podcast where agents like you share their stories, experiences, and insights to help each other level up and thrive. In every episode, we're diving deep into the real-life challenges, wins, and lessons from the front lines. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, this is the place to connect, learn, and grow together. So, if you're ready to get down with LPT and take your game to the next level, let's jump in. I am Kyle Clarkson, and I'm here today with Shawn Mackey. He's the Director of Leads at Legacy. Shawn, how you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing good.
Good. I love the excitement in your voice.
Oh, I'm very excited.
Yeah, so you've been in real estate for how long now?
26 years.
So you're old.
Long time. Nope, I was very young when I got in.
Yeah, no, you're old now.
Yes.
Take us back to the beginning. You know, how'd you get started in real estate?
It was just something that I always wanted to do. Always had interest in real estate, houses, actually commercial too, but I never got into commercial. And married a year, had a brand new baby. In between jobs, I thought that was a good time to do it. Got licensed December '99 and sold my first house like 3 weeks later at an open house.
Job is easy, right?
I thought so.
They walked in and bought it?
First people that walked in. Yeah, I went into a panic.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my introduction.
Yeah. So take us through those early years. Obviously, that was your first deal, but early years, lessons learned, anything like that?
Yeah, I started in the south side of Des Moines. Early years, after that first sale, I thought, wow, this is easy. Didn't have another sale until I think I got my first listing from floor duty. As you know, back then, floor duty agents would sit and answer the phones.
And people would walk in. My first two deals one was an open house and one was somebody walking in.
Yep. Yeah. My first 2.5 years, actually, I did I would always volunteer for it. Lots of open houses. That's literally how I got my business the first few years. And I remember when I first started, my manager at the time, she said, you know, if you can stick it out through 3 years, that's when you'll start seeing repeat business. And literally my third year, business doubled.
I still have that conversation with people today. You know, I think our paths are probably similar. The first year, you're just kind of getting by. You're hopefully sell one at an open house or somewhere else. And year two, you hopefully see some growth. But those that make it to year three, and quite honestly, 80% of agents don't make it to year three. But if you make it to year three, I think that's when your business really starts to grow. And so like your manager told at the time, I still have that conversation with people getting into real estate today. I'm like, you really have to understand it's going to take a year or two to get going. But if you can make it to year three, you're going to see that bump.
And we didn't have social media back then either, so it was a lot harder.
Yeah, and you're all over social media today. So
yeah, well, no.
Just Snapchat.
Yeah.
So somewhere in the course of time, you started selling in '99, sold for a while, and then you got into relocation. How did that come about?
As you know, 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, those were the lean years. And I went from, having a pretty good record for sales to it cut in half during the recession and struggled through that. Had part-time jobs. I was working 3 part-time jobs plus real estate at one time. And then it was presented to me.
What year would this have been?
2012.
Okay.
So at that 13 years in, the relocation director at Coldwell Banker was retiring, and they asked if I'd be interested. I said sure. Wasn't sure I could do the 8 to 5. But they ended up hiring me to take over for her. I did that for 16 months, training under her, and took over full time. And the best part about it is I was still involved in real estate. And even back then, sometimes I still got to negotiate sales. So, never look back.
Well, we have a very similar path because those lean years, same thing. That's where I got into the education side of real estate. And I think it was 12. I think 12, 13, 14.
Yep.
I was the director of education, same place that you were the relocation director.
Yep.
So very similar paths, and I felt fortunate to be able to stay in real estate, even though my sales were probably not where I wanted to be at that time, and thankful for that.
Yeah, it was just so much stress that I still wanted to stay in real estate, but get paid.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks, have retirement, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Health insurance, things like that.
So in that role that you started there in 2012, what were some of the biggest challenges that you experienced or surprises in that role?
Agents always think that people involved in real estate, all they do is sit there and wait for their phone to ring, and just leads just keep coming in. You just give it to agents, and it's more than that. You have to pick the right agents, number one. Number two, there's always training going on, and you learn how, there's a difference between a referral company, a real company, broker-to-broker referrals, things like that. Lots of paperwork. I'm the first contact from anybody giving a referral typically, so I have to give a good first impression, otherwise they won't come back.
So you've been with us over a year now, and
Fool's Day last year.
Yeah.
Coincidence?
It wasn't even a joke, but
yeah.
So you think about your current role within Legacy. What's similar? What's different? What's your current role look like?
Well, a lot of the stuff I did when I first started in April last year was we didn't have any relationships with any, except for Zillow and Ojo, Movoto. We didn't have any relationships with any referral reload companies, so I had to go back into my past contacts to try to establish those relationships, to tell them where we were, who we were, to give us opportunities. One of the things we did right away, which was great, is join WERC, which is Worldwide Employee Relocation Council, which is a membership that we pay for that brokers across the country, even some places in the world, corporate reload companies, referral companies are all involved in there. So if they're looking for a broker to send a referral, a lot of them go into that membership and send their referrals. So we jumped in there right away. That helped get our foot in the door, and we still send the referrals and get referrals because of that, as well as our e-relocation portal that we track all referrals, because all referrals sent to us, they want updates from us. They always want to know what's going on. That helps us keep track of it. You can also find brokers and reload companies in there. So that's some of the stuff that we did to start out. And then the Zillow part of it, which I'm helping with Zillow and making sure agents are in the right zip codes, making sure they're doing what they're supposed to and things like that. That was new to me. I had never worked with Zillow before, but they're good leads. We've got a good team.
Yeah, and so obviously, Zillow and Movoto, some things were already in place, but some of these companies now we're working with, and it takes time, right? I mean, yep. I think we both understood that this was going to be a process and continues to be a process, and we're getting our foot in the door with some of these companies. But what are some of the other companies we've started working with?
So there's a difference between a referral company and a reload company. A referral company is someone that's given us a lead. It's not someone they're moving or moving in or moving out. Reload companies are the corporate reload where they may have a seller here that their company's moving them someplace else, or they have a buyer from someplace else, they're coming in here. As far as referral companies, which are leads, some of them are pre-approved buyers with like Rocket Mortgage. They have Rocket Homes. NAF, New American Funding, has a lead source. They're usually pre-approved. AmeriSave is another one that's has a mortgage company that pre-approved. Mellow Homes, which is Loan Depot, that's another one that are leads. And then as far as Relo, we've worked with a bunch: Ayers, Grable, Altair, Cardis, Weicker Relocation. We've got listings, we've got buyers coming from them too.
So I don't. Some agents understand this. Maybe some newer agents don't understand this, but these aren't free leads, and most time we're paying some sort of referral. What do those look like?
Yep, there's always a referral fee. Typically, the broker-to-broker ones coming from a different brokerage are $25. I've seen as high as $75. I've seen as low as $5. The corporate reload stuff or the leads, Movotos are the lowest I've seen, which are really good, 17.5%. But most of them are at least 35. We've got one that is 42.5. So yeah, there's referral fees involved. A lot of agents want these leads, but once they see the referral fee, they don't. And not only that, but there's not just the referral fee comes off the top. But you have to do updates. You have to do a lot of paperwork. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of work. And some agents, once they see things you have to do, opt out of it, which I think is crazy. Because even if there's a referral fee, you're adding to your sphere of influence. Every buyer and seller you touch.
Yeah, there's two parts of this. Like, okay, great, I can get whatever percent of nothing if I don't have a
Yep.
lead, or I
Yep.
can get, we do 70-30 splits on company stuff, and then there's a referral. So it ends up being you probably would get 50% of a deal, but 50% of something, it matters. And the bigger part of that, and we talk about this a lot, is a lifetime value of a lead.
Yep.
Where you're adding to your sphere of influence. So who cares how you met this person, whether it's through Movoto or Zillow or Rocket or some other lead source. When you make a connection, they become part of your SOI and they start referring people and they come back and buy a house. Like the lifetime value of one lead can be extremely significant. And so I never want people to overlook and get caught up on I'm paying, doing a 70-30 split and we're paying a 35% referral. I'm like, that's not great. But what are you gaining from that, right?
Yeah, it's not for everyone. And I've seen, I had one time a corporate client be referred, and they were moving here. I signed them to an agent. They ended up loving that agent. A year later, they sold their house because they were moving back out. A couple years later, they were coming back again, worked with that same agent. Then they sold again and moved out. There's four transactions with one agent, with one client. And not only that, there's some of these referral companies or relo companies where literally call me and say, hey, we had a really good experience with so-and-so, your agent. We would like them to work with this person too. Yeah.
So you're building on that, which I think is important.
Yep.
So a lot of our some of our agents want to get involved in this, maybe haven't been involved in this. What are you looking for in agents that are going to be part of, whether it's Movoto or whether it's a relo deal that comes in? What's important to us as a company, and then what are you looking for in an agent?
They have to be very detailed. The corporate side of it, there's literally a lot of paperwork. They require updates, and you can't be late on those updates. If they're late, it looks bad on us as a brokerage, not just them, but us. So a lot of detail, a lot of extra work, referral fee. I want someone that I can trust. Once I hand it over to them, I don't have to worry about that stuff getting done. And there's some that, something comes in. Some agents I've worked with long enough, I talk to a client because I always ask the buyers questions, where they want to be, price range, when they'll be in town, things like that, interests. There's some agents I can just boom, this is the perfect person for this. Lots and lots of detail. I want someone that's very detailed and experienced.
So if an agent wanted to get started, talk me through that, because I'm sure there's a lot of agents that would want to be involved in this. Understanding, we don't have leads just falling out of the sky every day. This is, they come when they come, and we hand them out when we do. But
usually I start I think I pretty much started all agents on the leads, meaning the referral company leads, like the Rockets, the Op Cities, the New American Funding, the Movoto, stuff like that. And once I see that they can do that, then I'll slowly enter them into corporate if they want it, because those are higher referrals. So buyers are easy as far as that goes. They're all buyers. Corporate buyers are pretty much the same, except you have to do it's more detailed updates, things like that. But the biggest thing is if you think this is something you want, I can't guarantee you anything, but you have to be detailed. Always. Yeah. And then there's some like these mortgage companies that have lead sources. They're giving us a lead that they got this buyer that through them that's pre-approved. They don't want you steering that buyer to another mortgage company. That's huge.
Yeah. And Rocket or whatever, they come in. We got to understand that and respect the relationship.
Yeah, they don't give second chances on those. And so I always tell our agents that. And so far here, it's been fantastic. I don't think that's happened even one time. Yeah. So, and I have had problems with it in the past. So just things like that.
Yeah. Well, appreciate all your work on that. I don't know if you've got a life outside of what you do here at Legacy. Do you have much of a life or not?
I don't know. So spending time with my family. I like being outside.
You got a pool?
Got a pool. Spend a lot during the spring, summer. I'm outside as much as possible. Love sports. Do workouts with my wife I'm up at 5
F45, right?
F45 training, yeah.
He was taking selfies of himself at the gym last week, I saw. And
I don't know how that is, but black and white photo. Yeah, no, that wasn't me.
I saw you.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, you're very dedicated, workouts, what you eat, that whole thing has become a big part of your life, right?
Yep, 3.5 years into it. Yep, lost 35 pounds.
What took you down that path?
Just getting older and just like back issues and stuff. It's always when I carry extra weight. And
Yeah.
I mean, I just didn't like the way I felt and looked.
Yeah.
And wanted a challenge, and my trainer at the time challenged me, and she set me up how to do my nutrition. And literally, 3 years later, I still have a spreadsheet. I still do. I mean, nothing's changed.
I think it's a good picture of a real estate business. Like if you treat it like a business, track and measure everything.
Yep.
You want to see results, track and measure everything, and your physical health and what you've done for your workout routine, I think is a picture of that, right?
Yeah, and I stopped tracking everything. I think I got sick last summer, and then I had back issue. I think like August I stopped tracking, and I put on 15 pounds.
Yeah, amazing.
Just started tracking again. I'm in week 7, and I've lost like 12 pounds.
Yeah.
So
it works, and it doesn't matter what part of your life, but if you want to see success somewhere, you set goals for yourself, track and measure. And it's real estate, it's your health, it's working out, it's eating. Like you want to see results, track and measure. Do you use what do you use, app-wise or just a spreadsheet?
My Fitness Pal I use for my eating, and a spreadsheet I track for my weight. I track my sleep. I wear my watch to bed to track sleep's important, at least 7 hours. Didn't get that last night, but
I can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. Just I like spreadsheets. I know you're a spreadsheet guy.
Yep.
Love spreadsheets. But yeah, it holds me accountable. I'll literally sometimes at night go get my steps. I'll just walk like a few blocks just to get all the rest of that in.
Yeah, and if you don't track it, you don't know. You have no idea where you're at.
Yeah.
So appreciate that. I
works.
think that's a good picture. Whether health or work or whatever it might be, track and measure. So what keeps you motivated? 20 years plus 26 years into this.
Agents. Love seeing agents have success. The newer agents are my favorites because they're excited to get going, and seeing them with their first sales or believing in themselves. I believe you should build people up, not tear them down.
Yeah.
That's my favorite, by far my favorite part of it.
I think your role, I think a lot more agents would have success. So you look at that 80% number that don't make it to year 3. I think a lot of it is not that they wouldn't be great agents, but they don't have the opportunity to be great agents.
Yep.
And I think leads, I'm a big believer on leads. I think leads give people the opportunity that might have given up and not made it to year 3 to really see that through and have the opportunity. You actually got income coming in, all that good stuff. So
and I had an agent just last summer that we offered to put her on our Movoto team, and I remember her asking me, "Why me? I'm brand new. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know how to balance all this." She has young kids, things like that. I'm like, "You can do it. I know you can do it. Just give it a try." And like a few months later, she's just turning. I mean, she's just, every time I see her, I'm like, "I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
You remember you said you couldn't do this. I know.
Yeah.
You can do it."
Yeah, just some people just need that opportunity, right?
Yep.
Well, favorite part of the job, and you talked about working with new agents a little bit. Anything else that sticks out?
It's always evolving. I mean, it seems like, you've been in real estate long enough. Things are always changing. We're always learning new things. It's like Zillow, they change things. And
Weekly.
Yeah. Yeah, so it keeps me on my toes.
Yeah. Advice for agents who would like to get involved in company leads.
Just talk to me. We'll sit down and I'll explain how it works. And like I said, we've had agents that wanted to get into it, and I explained it to them, and then they didn't want in. And then I've had others that literally will follow me around asking me for leads. So yeah, just reach out to me. And
if you don't know what to do and you want to get it, just follow Shawn around all day. Eventually he'll give up and get you going.
Yeah. Just leave me alone.
Quick fire, get to know you a little bit here. Coffee or tea?
I don't drink coffee. I've had maybe one drink of coffee in my life, and I don't drink tea, so I'm a water guy.
What about a shake from like?
I'll drink shakes. I don't
Yeah.
drink that tea anymore, though. The tea that you're addicted to now? No, I don't.
I haven't had it in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, I
Yes.
don't. No, I'm pretty much a water guy. I don't drink pop.
Yeah, that was for my health wise. Giving up pop was, I think, one of the best things I did. I did that like 6 years ago, and
It's pretty easy. I didn't even mean to. It just happened, and then
Yeah.
I didn't have one for 3 years.
yeah. I used to crave it like every afternoon. I'd have a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, that was mine. Is Dr.
Yeah,
Pepper. That's
yeah.
the only. Yeah, and I don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah, so
I had one, I think, in December, and I like.
it wasn't even. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm not
okay.
missing much.
No,
I think
I'm
when you
done
give it
with
up,
that.
I'm the same way. Yeah, stick with my water or tea occasionally. I have that.
Yeah,
I think it's Good Morning Sunshine. It's from Thrive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good times.
we opened up that for you. Now you're addicted.
Yeah, thank you. You an early bird or a night owl?
Early bird for sure. I mean, I'm like last night. I was in bed at 8 o'clock. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
The sun's gonna still be out when I go to bed. So I'm usually up at. If I do a 6 a.m. workout, I'm usually up about 4:45. So I'm an early
Get your
bird.
7 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, try, but it doesn't.
I
seem to
tried
happen.
last night. My 11-year-old would refuse to go to bed. Came in and out of her room. I think it was 10:45 before she finally went.
I can fall asleep. I just can't stay asleep. That's my problem.
Yeah. Dream vacation spot?
I come from an Irish heritage, so I kind of want to go to Ireland.
Yeah.
I don't think that's like just to see the country and where my family came from, but anywhere with the beach, water, sun, cold drinks. That's my
Yeah.
vacation spot.
I've been to Ireland once. It was a cool spot. We did go around the countryside, see a bunch of it. Had a Guinness, which I think that's probably the only Guinness beer I had in my life. But
the dark stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't drink that.
Yeah, I didn't. But I felt like I was in Ireland. I better try it.
Well, they have light Guinness beer, and there
No,
people who are on here will probably say, "Well, that's not real beer," but it is to me.
Well, yeah, they definitely wouldn't have said it there. So, but favorite app on your phone right now?
I don't know, ESPN app maybe, or
Yeah.
or Instagram, I guess.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't-
You're an Instagram guy, not Facebook. Like what? Why?
Well, it's just turning into ads and then all the political stuff and things like that. I just like
Yeah, less of that on Instagram. Just see
Instagram
pictures.
is just pictures
Yeah.
and videos and fun stuff and
That's a good point. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, give me one word to describe real estate.
evolving.
Oh,
If I even right now, I mean, I can still sell real estate, but learning the other stuff, the social media aspect of it and things like that, it's crazy how much it's changed in the last decade.
and even last year when we, buy our agency agreements,
Yeah,
and buy our brokerage
yeah,
agreements,
yeah.
and it continues to evolve. And so we as agents got to stay. I think that's why it's important. Hey, show up to team meetings. Chime into our podcast about what's going on because our industry is always changing, both from the marketing standpoint, from the law standpoint. I think it's important for agents to stay connected.
Yep. Agreed.
Well, Shawn, we appreciate you. Thank you for all that you do here at Legacy, and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. Didn't even have to beat me out.
You want one last chance to be out?
Sure.
Thanks, Shawn. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. That's a wrap for today's episode of Are You Down with LPT? Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you get some valuable takeaways to apply to your journey. New episodes drop every Friday, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss out. And hey, if you have your own story you'd like to share or questions you'd like to dive into, hit us up. Until next time, stay down with LPT and keep leveling up. Catch you in the next one.